in the midst of a 3-game and 8-day stretch, all here at Lucas Oil Stadium. You could also say they're in the midst of their best stretch of regular season play in franchise history. They've won 4 consecutive matches for a first time, and also for a first time, they meet Birmingham Legion FC here on Wish TV and ESPN+. Dane Kelly, the all-time leading goal scorer in USL Championship history, but he does not have a goal since April the 28th. Featuring for the opposition tonight is Chandler Hoffman. He is 3rd in league history with 60 goals, including 1 in a 2-2 draw against Hartford Athletic on Saturday. The first point for Birmingham since May the 18th. Greg Rakestraw, Brad Hodder with you, back with starting lineups and more when we come back as you're watching Indy 11 Soccer on Wish TV and ESPN+.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Indy 11 welcomes you to tonight's match against Birmingham Legion FC. Please turn your attention to midfield. We're performing tonight's national anthem. Our Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra members, Blake Schlaven, Riley Giampaolo, Alan Miller, and Ryan Miller.
Indy 11 Soccer is brought to you by Community Health. Dream big, work hard, finish strong. Community Health Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider of the Indy 11. And by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, proud to be the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Summer finally here towards the end of June on this warm Wednesday night. We thank you for joining us for Indy 11 Soccer here on Wish TV and ESPN+. Temperature a bit warmer today, but not as hot as the Indy 11 as of late. The high-end district towards the top of the Eastern Conference table with a win tonight. The Indy 11 will join the Tampa Bay Rowdies in a tie for first place, but also be the first team in the Eastern Conference to 10 wins on the season. As promised, Brad Hodder alongside Greg Rakes. We thank you for joining us for Indy 11 Soccer. And simply put, Brad, this has been fun. This team has not lost a match dating back to the end of April.
Yeah, it's been fun because they haven't lost, but it's also been engaging in how they've won. They keep pulling it out with late-game heroics, different guys stepping up.
Well, at the risk of borrowing from old school, this team has been going streaking. 4 consecutive match wins. That's the first time in franchise history. 8 matches unbeaten in the months of May and June. And you got to go back to last July 4th, the last time the Indy 11 lost in this building.
That's incredible. And it's not just the wins, but 2 goals conceded in the last 8 matches.
While we show you the offensive highlights, yes, the defense has been iron curtain-like.
And the great part about it is it's been interchangeable pieces, and they're still got it locked down in the back.
Well, the gentleman that just scored that last goal that was the game winner on Saturday night, will make his debut in an Indy 11 USL League competition. Starting lineup, our starters presented by Honda Manufacturing of Indiana, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Dane Kelly off the bench. Alioune Jahate gets the starting nod. Good to see him rewarded for the effort on Saturday.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a great story, and the way that the last match ended, such a tip of the hat to the kid.
On the flip side, for Birmingham Legion FC, we reference Chandler Hoffman. He's got 3 goals to help lead this young team. Prosper Kasim also 3 goals on the season, and a very familiar face and goal in Matt Van Oekel.
Yeah, when you're building a franchise and you're starting in an expansion year, you need 2 things. You need a guy that can put the ball in the net, and you need a guy that can keep it out. You got Van Oekel and you got Hoffman.
Martin Running in his 2nd season as the head coach of the Indy 11. His opposite number is someone he knows very well. The opposite coach tonight for Birmingham Legion in their first year is Tom Sohn. Part of the reason why Martin knows him so well, Tom brought him to Vancouver and gave him his shot in Major League Soccer back in 2011.
Tom's a lifer. I mean, from his time as a player to assistant coach to head coach, all the honors, all the championships he's won.
Multiple years with DC United, he and Jay Heaps, 2 guys with lengthy Major League Soccer ties that are helping build this Birmingham Legion franchise.
Yeah, when you've got those 2 guys as part of your foundation, this franchise is in great hands.
Tyler Gibson, he is the Iron Man for this Indy 11 squad. He has played every minute of every match so far this season. Alioune Jahate has gotten starts in Open Cup play, but in this, his 10th league match, he'll stand over the ball first to get us started at Lucas Oil Stadium this evening. Ismir Pekamic is our referee. Thank you for joining us for Indy 11 Soccer here on Wish TV and ESPN+. These 2 teams, to say they have been going in opposite directions would be an understatement. Indy 11 last lost April the 28th. Legion FC last won on April the 27th. Had 3 early wins. Did find the back of the net twice in a 2-2 draw against Hartford Athletic on Saturday. And that was their first point since May the 18th. Ioze trying to weave his way through traffic. It is a Birmingham Legion FC squad that does have a couple of players with Indiana ties on the roster. They are both available for selection off the bench in this evening's contest. One you would assume we are unlikely to see. The backup goalkeeper is Trevor Spangenberg. We'll finish that thought in a moment. Good looking run and build up here by Birmingham. Ball played back towards the top of the 18. Bit of a miscue there where it wasn't swept away immediately by Indy. And then Tyler Pasher will draw the foul. The finish thought on local ties, Trevor Spangenberg, the backup netminder for Birmingham. There you see Jordan Farr, normally the backup for the Indy 11, but continues to fill in and do so outstandingly so for the injured Evan Newton.
Yeah, a great performance last week, not only to weather the physical play of Atlanta, but then even with, being pulled down and being surrounded by guys on restarts, to come out across the middle and knock across some of those balls, knock them away from, certain guys running into the 6 was phenomenal.
The other player with Indiana ties we could see off the bench tonight for Birmingham is Femi Hollinger Jansen. What a remarkable story. Young man adopted by a family in northern Indiana, played at tiny Bethany Christian High School, went on to have an outstanding 4-year career at Indiana University, had 22 goals in his days as a Hoosier, and he could be available off the bench tonight. There you see Matt Van Oekel. We know him very well from this franchise's days in the North American Soccer League. When the Indy 11 first started in 2014, Matt was the netminder for Minnesota United. Then we saw him for 2 years with FC Edmonton, and he barely allowed a goal in 2016.
That was such a stingy back line, and he did a great job of, they did a great job of giving him very manageable stuff, but he was just incredible that season.
Van Oekel, that opportunity earned him a shot with Real Salt Lake in Major League Soccer in 2017. Played in a handful of matches and then was in the USL last year, playing for the OKC Energy in the Western Conference. Thomas Enevoldsen gives chase for Indy. Enevoldsen sitting on 3 goals so far this season for Indy. Carl Ouimet now with the ball at his feet. His 2nd year with the club. Has yet to score a goal this year, always a favorite target of Ioze on restarts. Macaulay King, the rookie out of Division II Young Harris College. Long distance ball for Jahate, and Van Oekel can't get there in time. Fisher heads the ball across the byline, and a early corner kick coming, and Ioze heads across the field to take it.
Yeah, great ball by Patty Barrett. Recognized a high back line from Birmingham, and Jahate sitting on it.
Jahate, the native of Senegal, the young man that earned his way onto the team via an open tryout. I thought Martin Rennie said it exquisitely on Saturday night. He paid his own way for a tryout and won us a game on Saturday. Lamette, Jahate, Osman, all potential targets for Ioze. Looking back post, a Birmingham head got to it first. Pasher will settle for Indy. Looking for Ioze on the back post run. Ioze could not keep it at his feet. Goal kick coming for Birmingham Legion.
What a great ball from, usually it's the other way. Ioze finding that little pocket for Pasher.
Of course, that's what set up the game winner for the Indy 11 on Saturday night. We jokingly gave Ioze the hockey assist on that one. The triangle executed to perfection. Ioze to Pasher, back post Jahate for the winner.
Brilliant ball. Brilliant three-dimensional ball tucked in behind Pasher's defender.
There's Mitch Osman, who has filled in more than adequately for Neviel Hackshaw. Finish that thought coming up in a matter of moments. Time now for our Keys the Match, presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. We start by stretching them, Mr. Hodder.
That's right. You've got a team with a lot of pace in Pasher and Jahate, and you've got creativity in Ina Voltson and Ioze. If you can stretch Birmingham and make them play touchline to touchline, you'll open up the gaps to utilize that speed and creativity. Also reduce the turnovers in the middle third. If there's any kind of soft spot for the 11 right now, it's allowing teams in transition by turning the ball over in midfield. Birmingham's got
a rocket struck that Farr got his mitts behind. Shot taken by Daniel Johnson, who does have one goal this season, and as you were talking about, a midfield turnover led to a look on goal for Birmingham.
And that's been really the only soft spot, with Birmingham having 5 in the middle. You got to be really cautious of those turnovers. For Birmingham, they got to keep the ball. Their goals against this season is right around 2 goals a game. In the last 6 matches, it's over 2 goals a game. So they have to keep the ball, try and dictate the tempo of this, and they have to get cover under Pasher. You cannot leave his defender out on an island without support behind him.
Fantastic ball by Ina Voltson, lead by Farias. Pasher's in, and Pasher finds the back of the net. It's his first half goal this season, his 6th of the campaign. And as Tyler Pasher goes, so go the Indy 11. They lead in minute number 7.
He's the hottest player in the league right now. He is the hottest player in the league. You cannot defend him. If you get unbalanced defensively and you wind up with him with one guy, he's in.
And how about the ball from Lucas Farias? A perfect leave.
Yeah, such a tough thing defensively is when your eyes go to follow the ball and you don't see ball in man, the run sneaks in behind you. And when you've got a guy like Pasher, your eyes cannot follow that ball.
The Indy 11 have been making their fans wait for goals at home all season. The only first half goal they have scored in this building was an own goal by Hartford Athletic back on March the 30th. And Pasher, now a team-high 6 goals on the season. And against a young team that's been struggling, that's exactly the start you were looking for Indy. Pasher injured, played in just 10 matches a season ago, native of Canada. Has a world of talent, does Pasher. We saw his first assist of the year on the game winner to Jahate on Saturday. Credit Farias for the great pass. That's his 2nd assist of the year. In this run, Pasher has been the driving force. Interesting to note, we saw a bit of an experiment by putting Ioze on the right side. In Saturday's game, Ioze and Pasher now stacked up kind of on top of each other back on that left side again tonight. Flag goes up. I'm going to say onside for a moment. The flag does go up. That is Opoku. Eddie Opoku for his first goal. This is his 12th match played of the season. There goes Pasher again. Jahate and Enevoldsen to his right, but couldn't keep the ball at his feet. Now Pasher has to get back on side, which will slow the attack for Indy momentarily. Great read by Osman. Indy has fared well against the new teams in the league so far, owning victories over Hartford Athletic, Memphis 901, and Loudoun United already this season. Birmingham, one of the numerous new teams in the league this year. Our injury report brought to us by Community Health Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider of the Indy 11. Ilya Illich is in the 18. Maybe we see him briefly in tonight's contest. Evan Newton did not dress tonight. The hope is that he can be ready by this weekend, but Farr is playing so well, they don't have to rush him back. Eugene Starikov, who's been out since March, continues to miss time. And the Indy 11, after Saturday's match, they are off for 2 more weeks. Both these teams, in fact, play Saturday, then are off for 14 days. We hope to see Eugene back on the pitch at some point in July.
I just imagine having that additional weapon. I mean, you're getting Illich coming back, and like you said, he's still a bit questionable. So if you don't have to use him, great. But if you get him 5-10 minutes, if the game works itself into that place where you can get a little bit of game minutes in him, that would be fantastic.
Starikov and Illich have both been out since March, but Kelly, Enevoldsen, and Pasher have been more than durable. In fact, in league play, this is the first time that Kelly has not started this season. Now leaving Enevoldsen and Gibson as the players who have started every match this year. And Farr has whistled for a foul in minute number 11. Tonight's match brought to us in part by Community Health Sports Medicine. Dream big, work hard, and finish strong. See Johnson, he had the shot that was rocketed earlier directly at Jordan Farr. Martin Rennie engaging in a conversation with our 4th official. That was the quizzical look you saw on his face. And that's going to be a handball on the restart against Opoku. Free kick coming for Indy. Barrett wearing the captain's armband tonight. One of the 4 players from FC Cincinnati from a season ago that have made the trek up I-74. You'll hear more about FC Cincinnati coming up as part of our halftime feature. Our look around the USL. Of course, these days, FC Cincinnati in Major League Soccer. But a chance to compete against Indy's opponent on Saturday night in Open Cup play in Lou City FC. Pasher off to the races. Now Iose leads the charge. Osman there to sweep it away. Osman has not looked like a rookie, has he?
No, he's played fantastic. And you're wondering, you know, you have Hackshaw gone, and Pernali gets called up, and you're wondering, okay, how are you prepared for this when you built your roster? And they knew what they were doing.
Until Osman got the start. On June 1st, is Jahate with the pressure. Forces a throw in off the duel with Fisher for Birmingham. Osman had played 1 minute the first 2 months of the year. He's now starting for a 5th consecutive match, and he's been rock solid. Young man who played at tiny Rio Grande in southeastern Ohio at the NAIA level. He was his league, the River States Conference Player of the Year in the fall. Transition opportunity here for Birmingham. And Osman yet again. Right place, right time. Jahate, foul. Here's an example of how good Mitch Osman was at the collegiate level. Rio Grande had allowed 2 goals during the regular season last year.
Oh my goodness.
which is why a defender gets named a conference's player of the year.
No kidding.
Enevoldsen had to kind of tail his run away to try to stay onside that time. Ball headed out. Prosper Kasim for Birmingham Legion. Switching the attack now between Enevoldsen and Iose. Asher again trying to take it towards the inside this time around. And talking with Martin Rennie last week, you see the hustle that Tyler Gibson showed to get to that open pocket of space. He says no one, and they track the mileage these guys run during the course of the match. It's like no one runs the amount that Tyler Gibson does during the course of a game.
His engine never slows down.
One of those players that played at FC Cincinnati a season ago, although his season very much limited by injury for the Knoxville, Tennessee native.
That's great composure on the ball by Osman.
King got a little greedy on that one.
That's twice now he's been under pressure with the ball that he's received, and he's not taken the first option. Got the defender wrong foot and then played a better ball.
Osman, the native of Australia, began his playing days at tiny Calumet College of St. Joseph in Northwest Indiana before transferring to Rio Grande. The young man on your screen is also a rookie, Macaulay King. Macca, as all of his teammates call him. He played in the Leicester City system as a youth. When I interviewed him earlier this year, he said it was a unique feeling to look up a couple of years ago and see guys holding the Premier League trophy, people whose names he had in his cell phone. A unique experience. Once again, Osman has been a magnet in midfield and along the defensive line. Jahate gives chase. Jahate, Van Oekel. Van Oekel will turn 33 at some point this year if he hasn't already. Shows still has that pep in his step.
Yeah, he may have aged a bit on that one. You take a look at the way Jahate plays, and it's energy, it's uncharacteristic runs, it's chaos that he brings.
And Farr, again, wise decision. Couldn't wait for it to cross the 18-yard box. Knocked it some 60 yards down the field. Fan Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit SelectSportAmerica.com. This Indy 11 team has been an advertisement for, you don't have to have gone to the biggest school to be an impact player. Farr, Osman played at the NAI level. Macaulay King played at Division II. I always glance your way when I say things like that as a Division III head coach yourself. If you are good, they will find you.
And you take a look at, too, I think that roadmap was built by Louisville. Picking kids in schools you've never heard of and then winning back-to-back championships.
Could be a nervous moment here. Farr quickly retreats back into the 6. Hoffman looking to make the turn. Johnson bends it, but not on frame.
This is one of the mental notes that you put in as a coach. Johnson right now has hit 2 balls from about 25 yards out under light pressure. And so you have to come out now, and they've both been hit really well. Now you have to make sure that you're coming out and pressing that ball to make it a little bit more difficult. And does that now open up some space behind you and underneath you?
Jahate down behind the play. Jahate stays down. That could change the plans for tonight's match right there. We play on. Hoffman looking to charge forward. The lead for Opoku. And Osman knocks him off the ball, but now Barrett goes down, and Opoku missed it wide because it was steered that direction by Pasher. Jahate down behind the play, and now Barrett down inside the 18. Literally, the trainer will have to go one direction, the doctor the other for the Indy 11 as two players currently down on the Lucas Oil Stadium turf.
And this did not look good. No contact, got caught on the turf. Don't know if it's an ankle, don't know if it's a knee, but just in the way that Patty Barrett went down, it looks to be a serious injury. And same with Jahate. He's there, you know, he's full steam and he's got to stop on the dime, and sometimes the turf can be unforgiving.
Subs tonight for the Indy 11 referenced Ilya Illich. We wouldn't see him this early in a match if he were to play tonight. It would be later. Matt Watson, Kenny Walker, Dane Kelly, Kim Do-yoon, Emerson Nieto, one of the academy products, and then Mario Perez, the third goalkeeper, is the backup to Farr this evening. So Barrett looks like he's going to stay on the field for now. So watch Patty here. Just turned his ankle.
It looked like an ankle.
Yeah, ankle just kind of rolled on him. Now here's Jahate.
And I think if Jahate can't go, Kelly's the obvious choice.
Sure.
There.
It's a bit of an awkward step. He is now, though, walking under his own power. And Jahate, when you get that first start, you are not eager to give it up.
You are not coming out.
And we've referenced the fact that he got a couple of starts in Open Cup play. He had to come out for 20 minutes because of Evan Newton picking up a red card in his first start for the club back on May the 15th. There's Johnson standing over this corner kick. Jahate is reported to the fourth official. Barrett stayed on the field. So the Indy 11 operating a man down, guarding this corner kick. Jahate being held at midfield currently. Not being waved back on just yet. Got a water ball up close to the field of play. That's part of the momentary delay. It does leave some space right now atop the 18 for Birmingham. Short corner. Taylor. I don't think that's exactly how Birmingham wanted to play it. Again, Jahate continuing to be held and now is waved back in. And Farr could a signal for a fair catch.
Yeah, I'll tell you, with both these injuries, these are things, once you're warmed up, you can kind of play through it, maybe get it retaped at halftime. You know, the telling part is going to be tomorrow morning as to whether Saturday is going to be in doubt for either of the guys.
Fans, you can show your Indy 11 pride and get your exclusive Indiana Members Credit Union Indy 11 debit card at any Indiana Members Credit Union branch or online at IndianaMembersCreditUnion.com today. Well, regarding Patty Barrett, this is what makes the Neville Hackshaw case interesting. He had been playing for Trinidad and Tobago for the better part of the last month. A couple of friendlies, 3 matches in the Gold Cup. Asher on the attack. Finds Farias. Farias leaves it. King the Rockets! And couldn't keep it on frame. McCauley looking for his first goal over 3 months.
I'll tell you what, that kind of wound up the same way as that ball Kenny Walker played across the box for Macca's first goal. A one-timer, a little bit further an angle, but, you know, he's got the confidence to hit it from there.
How about Farias letting that one go?
That's great. That's just eyes in the back of your head. You know where your teammates are. You know where your support is.
We're talking about Neville Hackshaw. Trinidad and Tobago is done with the Gold Cup as of tonight. He started against the U.S. on Saturday, not in the 18 tonight for their final match against Guyana, which means that Hackshaw could be back on the field on Saturday, and especially if a bit of an ankle swell for Barrett after the end of this match, it'd be a well-timed return for the Indy 11. A guy that's been one of their better players. Didn't with the club until July 1st, but has been out for the last 3 weeks, again representing his country. This portion of the match presented by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Indiana, a state that works. By the way, good to see former Indy 11 man Carlisle Mitchell in the starting 11 for Trinidad and Tobago tonight. Both he and Nathan Lewis, who are on last year's team, have been getting some run for TNT in the Gold Cup. Of course, the U.S. will play almost as soon as this match is over tonight. They played Panama, with both teams knowing they are going through to the quarterfinals.
Good build. Birmingham's midfield tucked back a little bit deep, and the 11 just looked to play in front of it, pull him out, and get him behind. God, he's playing with such confidence right now. There's almost like no touch, nothing that Pasher can do right now that he doesn't feel, you know, extremely confident in.
Pressure being picked up by Birmingham, chasing this game down a goal, but leads to a turnover. And King gets it right back. Jahate back to full speed. Enevoldsen calls his own number, but did not hit it the way that he wanted to.
Yeah, oddly played by Fisher. Just kept giving ground, and Enevoldsen just said, "I'll keep taking it."
Enevoldsen looking for his 4th goal of the season after scoring 20 a year ago for Orange County. Fans follow the Indy 11 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+. Home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who've already discovered ESPN+ and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. And King goes down in a heap, and that will be a card. Our first card of the match, a yellow. Gael Mabiala will draw the infraction. And just a bit aggressive on the challenge was Mabiala. Of note, both Mikey Lopez as well as Kyle Culbertson both entered this match for Birmingham, 1 yellow away from a 5th this season, and that accumulation would lead to a red or a 1-game suspension. Lopez in the starting 11, Culbertson available off the bench tonight for Birmingham Legion. Culbertson, another name we know well from his 2 years playing for Puerto Rico FC when they and Indy 11 faced each other in the NASL. 26 minutes in, a 7th-minute goal by Tyler Pasher, his 6th of the season, has given Indy something they have rarely had as of late. That's an early lead. Jahate gives chase. Mathieu Laurent was there to shield him away from Matthew Van Oekel. Cliff Bar Banking Company, Indianapolis, is proud to team up with the Indy 11, provide meals to IPS students through our Meals for Miles program. Indy 11 will retain possession. Indy 11 at home on Saturday night against Louisville City FC, the 2-time defending USL Cup champions. Those 2 squads played each other 4 times last year, with Louisville getting wins each of the last 2, including in the opening round of those playoffs.
That was a crazy game. The wind and the weather, that ball was moving in unique ways.
Louisville 2 years ago beat Swope Park Rangers in the championship match. Last year it was Phoenix Rising by Didier Drogba. Iose, good work. Again. Well, I need to say good work twice in 10 seconds. Try to simplify it.
Yeah, you can either sprint back and get in defensive position, or you can heroically scissor kick the ball out of bounds to prevent an easy serve.
Played left back most of last year when Indy was playing 4 at the back. Now it's going to play more of a wing role as Indy goes 3 at the back, and Osmond able to ricochet that ball off the attacking player for Birmingham and create a goal kick for Jordan Farr. Ball is on the field. That's the reason for the momentary delay. You see Jordan, who was with the Indy 11 last year, did not play a single solitary minute. He hurt his shoulder in preseason training. Both backup goalkeepers were hurt early in the season a year ago. Ben Lundgaard, on loan from Columbus Crew with this team last year, was the other. Farr kind of gutted it out as the backup for a couple of months while Lundgaard got healthy. And once Lundgaard got healthy, Jordan had season-ending shoulder surgery. Was one of the first players to re-sign in the offseason. Her head coach, Martin Running. Opoku with We Met. We Met got a boot in the way. Gibson another. And Ioze does enough to draw the foul, and the threat averted by Indy.
You look at the way Farr has played. I mean, he's, stepping in for the shutout leader in the league. It's not like you're filling the shoes of an average goalkeeper. Been calm, confident, composed.
Tonight's game presented in part by Honda Manufacturing of Indiana, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Yeah, Farr has looked the part. He has rewarded his team's confidence in his abilities, to some degree almost sight unseen in terms of match play heading into the year. Was not expected to play in the Open Cup opening game against Lansing Ignite until Evan Newton got a red card 20 minutes in. And all of a sudden, here's your pro debut with no notice. Go get him, kid.
You know what? In some respects, that's the easiest way to have it happen. You don't overthink it. It's like, all right, here we go.
Enevoldsen to Farias, the native of Brazil. Barrett finds Ioze. Give and go. The flick forward. Pasher's onside. Plays it across. Loose ball. Swept away by Fisher. And it will be a throw-in, not a corner for Indy.
And you look at that dangerous opportunity. I mean, yes, great individual brilliance from Ioze and Pasher in combination to get through there. But that came off of a long ball. Birmingham is shifting so many players ball side that when the 11 releases pressure with that long ball far side, whether it's Farias or Ioze, they're sitting in that pocket wide open. And once that ball comes in, as long as that first touch is good, they've got plenty of space.
King to take the throw. As you can tell, not much room to operate on that sideline. Osmond right back to King. And Osmond, advantage is going to be played. He was going to give that foul, trying to slow the attack. Kasim. Now Hoffman plays it back post. Opoku missed it.
It's a great ball.
And now a card's going to be shown to Mitch Osmond. And that was for the foul where the advantage was played. So a card shown to Osmond. Each team now with a yellow. For Mitch, his first card of the season.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I think Kasim should have taken Farias off the dribble because Osmond was out of position. He got caught in transition, and instead he slowed it down. I mean, they got a great opportunity out of it, but I think you had a better opportunity in the 1v1.
Could Opoku have done more with that? Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
But did Farr do a great job of closing it down? Absolutely. Ioze, stellar touch. Jahate able to keep the attack alive. Enevoldsen looking for Pasher. Pasher, the blast. He has hit that roof ball a couple of times. Much later in matches to help deliver 3 points to the Indy 11. Couldn't find the proper angle that time on Van Oekel.
Now, when you look at the chess match that's been played, Pasher slots the ball across to Jahate for the game winner last week. Prior to that, he went, near post from this angle twice to get the game winner. So he's got both those thoughts in Van Oekel's head.
Van Oekel, the native of Chesapeake, Virginia. He and Evan Newton grew up 20 miles apart from each other.
Crab country, right? Or is that, yeah, Chesapeake Bay, right?
Yep. Hampton, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, that area. Good area. All three goalkeepers for Birmingham Legion, all guys that we saw during the Indy 11's NASL days. Trevor Spangenberg, the backup. Joe Nasco, the third goalkeeper. Birmingham like to go with three veteran goalkeepers.
You know how rare that is to have the ability to, I mean, and how important it is too, because it's tough to go through. We've been fortunate here in Indy with, you know, Christian Neek and John Bush and Hawaiian Fawn Williams, guys that run the whole season, but that's rare.
Fans, you can tune to ESPN3 next Wednesday, July 3rd, 11 o'clock Eastern time for Wednesday Night Soccer. Two of the top clubs out west, Sacramento Republic FC, Fresno FC. It's the Highway 99 Derby. Catch all the action July 3rd at 11 o'clock on ESPN3.
Tell you what, that's a heads-up play by Fisher. If he does not bring Jahate down, there's nothing but space behind him.
Should we say Derby for a matchup featuring all California teams, or we just go ahead and go with Derby at that point?
Whatever you lead, I follow, right? That's who you call it. I'm on board.
Iose sending everybody forward. And right now, there's a lot of space for that guy in Pasher.
Why not?
Pasher looking back post. Patty Barrett couldn't get to it, but it is ruled he fouled a Birmingham player in the effort. And now we will see the trainer waved on for Birmingham Legion. I believe that is Kasim, that is the injured player for Birmingham. And Iose saw the exact same thing I did. I'm like, you might want to slide and go over towards Pasher. He's been pretty good down that left side this year.
I just don't understand. I don't understand why that would not be the first point that you look at defensively.
Barrett looking for his first Indy 11 goal. And Kasim, yes, it was Barrett that knocked him down and then landed on him. And then also collided with his teammate in Laurent. And nowhere to go for Prosper. He have 3 goals so far this season. Native of Ghana, 22 years of age. And Oakle awaiting the restart. As Kasim right now walked back towards the bench, so playing a man down are Birmingham Legion. And Van Oekel couldn't keep that in the field of play. Of course, for Van Oekel, this is the first time he has played at Lucas Oil Stadium after playing so many matches against Indy over the years over at Carroll Stadium. Matt was in goal for the lone playoff win in Indy 11 history. A 1-0 victory by Indy over FC Edmonton in November of 2016. Reminder fans, you can learn more nuggets about the Indy 11 such as that. You tune into Soccer Saturday mornings on 107.5 FM and 1070 The Fan. We'll have a full recap of tonight's match, a preview of Louisville City, and we'll talk about the huge matchup on Friday in the Women's World Cup between France and the USA. Scheduled to have Kat Whitehill of Fox Sports join us on Saturday morning. And that's Soccer Saturday, 107.5 FM, 1070 The Fan. You're allotted about 3 appearances on that show every year. It's about time we had you back on, right?
What am I at? Am I at 1 this year?
Maybe. Van Oekel will play that ball that was just nudged back his way. The man that scored that goal against Van Oekel in that playoff match nearly 3 years ago, Sinisa Ubiparapovic, recently named the men's soccer coach at Cleveland State University. Read by Barrett. And again plays that ball off of Kasim, who has re-entered the fray for Birmingham. Olsen, the flick for Jahate, and Jahate.
He'll chase everything down. He makes everything difficult.
Makes up ground in short order, does the native of Senegal.
And you can see the reaction from the goalkeeper, and you can see the reaction from the defender. It's not your typical run. They're thinking, okay, I just shield, I give a little bit of obstruction, get in his way a little bit, and the run will stop. And Jahate just keeps coming.
By the way, there are 2 other matches taking place in the Eastern Conference tonight. One of them has a pair of goals, one in each direction. Ottawa Fury FC and Charleston Battery, a goal apiece. That's in minute number 39. Other match involving teams in the East, 2 really good ones, Nashville and New York Red Bulls 2. So it is a busy Wednesday night in terms of the Eastern Conference table. If the Indy 11 can win tonight, they would join Tampa Bay with 33 points. Be tied for first. Goal differential might put Tampa Bay still in the top slot. That would be the best that the Indy 11 have been in a table since joining this league at the beginning of last year.
And would still have a game in hand.
Correct. So. Asher lets it fly. But can he get there in time? No. This Sports the Match presented in part by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Take your business to the next level in a state that works. Foul whistle against Ioze. Turner, the player that was injured. Turner making his 11th appearance of the season. Turner turned 23 years of age at the beginning of the season. Last year played indoor soccer. Played in the MASL. Ring a bell to you?
That is that. Yes, yes. The indoor-outdoor thing that can wear on your body.
As I look at my partner that played professionally for a dozen years, and most of those played indoor, as most professional players in this country played during the late 80s and early 90s.
Well, who was it that we got from San Antonio that finished up a season, was about to come here, and went up to Milwaukee, played indoor,
and got hurt?
We lost him for the year.
Is it DeRue from San Antonio?
Yes, yes, Stephen DeRue.
Final 5 minutes plus stoppage time of this opening half, presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11.
What a read.
Now Ioze can launch the break. Olsen, Jahate in front, Pasher to his left. This Indy 11 team has allowed 1 goal at home this season. That came with the victory against Pittsburgh on June 1st. They've allowed 5 in the last 12 matches in total. Jose couldn't keep it at his feet. And Osmond, good read. Better step by Osmond.
Yes.
Olsen. And they're going to go back, and that's good officiating. Yep. Let the foul go, and the ball is at Olsen's feet. As soon as he loses it, ball goes back to the original spot of the infraction.
That's twice he's done well on those calls.
And that ball gets past Osmond. Hoffman's in. Really had fun talking to Mitch on Soccer Saturday a couple of weeks ago. He's liking life in the big city of Indianapolis compared to Rio Grande, Ohio, where the big deal in Rio Grande is that it is the home of the Bob Evans restaurant chain.
You're kidding me.
There you go. There's your factoid about Rio Grande, Ohio. Yes, sir.
Wow. My brother in high school, my older brother, his first job was a biscuit maker at Bob Evans.
The secrets of that stuff were learned in southeastern Ohio. We now expect free biscuits going forward from the folks at Bob Evans for all the love we have thrown their way in the last 60 seconds.
Them's be some good biscuits, Rake.
Iose. Flicked by Osmond and finds the back of the net. I'm not sure who it touched last. It went Iose to Osmond and found its way to the back of the goal. It's a 2-goal lead for the Indy 11 in minute number 44.
A great way to go into halftime. You've got some momentum. You've got a bit of a cushion.
Does the rookie get his first professional goal? Let's see. I don't think so. I think it's an own goal for the Indy 11. I think Fisher touched it last. Now, and then it deflected off of Laurent as well. Yeah, that's the third own goal the Indy 11 have picked up this season, and now the second in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but when you put teams in dangerous situations like that, that's going to happen.
They got one against Hartford Athletic. It was the only goal in their opening home win of the season. And Pasher not content with 2. And there will be some added time here at the end of the half because of the injuries, because of a couple of goals, couple of cards. So there frankly is still time for both sides before we exit stage left for our halftime show. But this is absolutely what you wanted to see. Your head coach, Martin Running. Three minutes of added time. So we get to minute number 46. Kasim, right idea for Hoffman, and Iose deft with his feet and the top of his head. That takes some significant guts to play that ball.
That takes some confidence. And, you know, it takes trust.
Fourth official has indicated a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage.
Now we've been told 4 minutes of stoppage time. Number has grown a little bit. Birmingham's had some dangerous opportunities. Namely a Poku sitting back post, and now a corner has been produced by Prosper Kasim.
This is a critical thing. You're up 2-0. You've scored a big momentum goal. You can't give it back here.
There apparently is a serious debate about the length of stoppage time we're having. Back to 3 minutes. We'll see if it changes again. Ball sent in. Steered back to the top of the 6. Loose in the box. And Farias will buy a little more real estate. Look at the pressure Barrett is applying all the way to midfield. Now Turner. Hoffman. And far.
Well played.
I think Hoffman like to have that one back.
Yeah, he was kind of caught in between. You're not going to beat a good goalkeeper from that angle. And you do have a run, you know, flashing down the middle of the box. But I'll tell you, you were talking about the pressure that Patty Barrett was putting on at midfield. The reason you do that when you're stretched that far up as an outside back is because if you don't and they break that press, you've got a 30 to 40 yard run backwards. So it's easier and better to spend a little bit more energy there, win it there, and then walk back as opposed to have to sprint back and recover.
Coming up at halftime, we'll hear from Indy 11 head coach Martin Running. We'll take you around the United Soccer League. Halftime highlights and stats. The home team's got a 2-goal lead. Plenty of highlights to show you. You're looking to make it 5 wins in a row. It'll also be the first team in the East to get to 10 wins this year.
player with the ball would try to turn the corner on Tyler Pasher, he's going to track you down. Keep the ball moving.
The end of a very well-played first half by the Indy 11. Tyler Pasher's first half goal of the season, his 6th in total, and a friendly carom off a pair of Birmingham Legion players has led to a 2-goal advantage going to halftime. First half stats and analysis, a look around the league, and witty repartee between myself and Brad Hodder. All comes your way at halftime here on Wish TV and ESPN+. I hear you.
Yeah, copy. Yeah.
Call freaking
For almost 2 decades, San Diego has been waiting for a professional soccer club it can call its own. Now led by leading soccer executive and co-founder of Sacramento Republic FC,
The home fans being rewarded for turning out on a Wednesday night. The home side with a pair of goals, one of the own goal variety, the other. Great combination play from Lucas Farias and Tyler Pasher. Pasher's 6th of the season gives the Indy 11 a 2-goal halftime advantage. Greg Rakestraw, Brad Hodder with you. Let's take a look around the league now. Some news and notes around the USL Championship Division. Solomon Asante may have had the goal of the year a week ago for Phoenix Rising, and in 2 matches had 3 goals and an assist. Very fittingly that he was the player of the week. Much as the Indy 11 have a new venue potentially in the works a couple of years down the road, so too could our longtime rivals in North Carolina FC. This announcement was made yesterday as the team is hoping to have a 20,000 seat venue in downtown Raleigh. And congratulations to Alex Cronali. He was a big part of this team in April and May. He was on a season-long loan from the Columbus Crew, but because of some injuries, he was called back up by the Crew, and he picked up 90 minutes in league play for the Crew in their match on Sunday. We had hoped to see Alex back here this coming weekend. He may be a couple hours east on I-70 for a little while longer for Columbus.
I think when you play like he's playing and they pulled him up and he got 90 minutes, that he's probably going to be there a bit.
Now there are the news and notes in graphic and verbal form from around the league. Here's some other great stories to tell you about in the USL Championship and beyond.
for almost 2 decades, San Diego has been waiting for a professional soccer club it can call its own. Now led by leading soccer executive and co-founder of Sacramento Republic FC, Warren Smith, and legendary United States men's national team player Landon Donovan, its club has arrived. The USL Championship is coming to the University of San Diego's Torero Stadium, bringing all the excitement of the fastest growing league in North America to one of the top soccer markets in the United States.
All right, gentlemen. I don't think we need to kind of review what this game means, but it is a really important opportunity for us I think it's an important opportunity for you guys in a lot of ways.
Goal is to advance in the U.S. Open Cup by beating Cincinnati. It is that simple. Any questions? Let's go, gentlemen. Let's go.
It's more than just the two clubs. There's a bit of an angst between the cities, quite frankly. You can feel it.
There's just so much on the line. We're in the third year now of seeing FC Cincinnati with, you know, a lot of big moments that have happened and history built up.
Last year we came here twice and we won both games. Dealing with the crowd, the pressure, I think is one advantage that we'll have as we've dealt with it.
Fourth round of the 2019 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, the site of the renewal of one of the great budding rivalries in U.S. soccer, FC Cincinnati. Now the big dog from Major League Soccer hosting Louisville City FC, a rainy Nippert Stadium, the perfect place, Lorena, to renew the River City rivalry. Now gets the time, Sam Warner, the beauty. Jamal Thompson, he only knows bangers.
Look at Tatum moving up.
And Tatum with a beautiful strike. Are you kidding? Johnson from distance. Oh, yes. A great save from C.J. Cochran.
Once again, back inside Lucas Oil Stadium, the Indy 11 with a 2-goal advantage, 2-0 over Birmingham Legion. Wednesday night soccer here in Indianapolis being very good to the Indy 11 right now. Take a look at the table in the Eastern Conference, and as we've noted on multiple times, if this result holds, the Indy 11 would jump into a first-place tie with the Tampa Bay Rowdies. If they can get another goal and win by 3, it would be kind of a flat-footed tie on goal differential, but there's still 20-plus games, or 20-ish games, I should say, left to go. Just be happy that they're on 33 points with the Rowdies right now. And as mentioned, numbers 3 and 4 are playing each other tonight, as are numbers 7 and 8 in the Eastern Conference. And with that, it's our out-of-town scoreboard, brought to us by the Crown Plaza Indianapolis downtown. Let them assist you with your next meeting or event. Nashville and Red Bulls 2 will start, well, momentarily. And Ottawa and Charleston each with a goal at halftime. The other 2 games that are in the Western Conference. But again, you've got some soccer viewing options after this game is over with. You can watch the U.S. in the Gold Cup tonight. You can also catch more USL Championship action as part of Wednesday night soccer as San Antonio FC and El Paso Locomotive are playing on ESPN News. I'll promise I'll let Brad talk when we come back. The Indy 11 have a 2-goal lead. Indy 11 out to a 2-goal lead at halftime. We'll see both teams back on the pitch coming up in just a matter of moments. We're back up to the broadcast booth to get alongside Brad Otter, Greg Rakes, for joining us here on Wish TV and ESPN Plus. And this is what you hope for as a home fan. An early goal backed up by a second one of the own goal variety. So far, an outstanding Wednesday night for the Indy 11.
Yeah, not just as a fan, you hope for this kind of a start as a coach as well, especially when you're looking at 3 games over the stretch of 8 days, and you got a game on Saturday. And if you're able to get another one and put a little bit of room between the result of this game and where you're at, it gives you some flexibility to maybe rest some guys or at least sit back and not have to play a full 120-minute field.
Part of the story for the Indy 11 roster rotation tonight, and one of those guys that didn't play Saturday but has played very well tonight. In fact, he set up the first goal, is Lucas Farias.
Yeah, it was great. And he's had a couple opportunities, too. That dummy ball at the top of the box to Macca King. He's had great vision, great touch. He has been what was advertised when they signed him.
But it's been the guy that's been an everyday Eddie, if you will, for the Indy 11 this season in Tyler Pasher. And again, as this run of success has taken place for the Indy 11, the guy wearing number 23 has been involved somehow.
Yeah, and I tell you, I don't understand this play defensively from Birmingham. The hottest guy in the league right now, you turn your back to him and you follow the path of the ball. You got to just tuck back into that space and keep Tyler Pasher in front of you.
Team high 6th goal of the season for Pasher. That coming in minute number 7. That made it 1-0 in favor of Indy. Birmingham did have some chances. This was their best one of the half.
Yeah, you talked about it in real time, the positioning of Jordan Farr. He puts himself in a position, makes himself big on the near post, and says, okay, you got a couple of windows. If you can hit them, hats off to you.
And then late in the half, Ioze the ball, and again, a series of deflections. It may have literally touched 3 different Birmingham players and found its way to the back of the net.
Yeah, and anytime you send a ball into traffic in that position, there's so many guys that could get a piece of it that defensively as a goalkeeper, you don't know where to step. You don't know where to go because it could nick off of anybody.
First half stats, and one stat that has been constant all season long, Indy 11's been winning the possession battle, kind of like a margin like this most of the year.
Yeah, and there are times where it's purposeless. Sometimes you're possessing the ball and it's not resulting in anything. These possessions over this stretch of success that they've had, that possession has been dangerous.
And if the 2-0 goals you saw on that stat sheet didn't tell you how well things are going for the Indy 11, they literally have more goals than shots on target. You're having a good night. 1 shot on target for the Indy 11, and they got 2 goals out of it.
That's a fun fact right there, Rake.
So Martin Rennie making his way towards the sidelines. We'll catch with Coach coming up in just a matter of moments. Again, the Indy 11 back here on Saturday night to take on Louisville City FC. You know, there will be a lot of folks dressed in purple making the drive up I-65 for that one. We expect a fantastic crowd. If you cannot make it down, you can watch the match the same places you are watching it right now on both Wish TV as well as ESPN Plus. Looks like Martin Reddy is ready on the sidelines. Coach, an outstanding opening 45 minutes. Your thoughts on the way things unfolded for your team?
Yeah, it was a good 45 minutes for us, nice and sharp. Good to get an early goal and then follow it up with a good set play. Just got to make sure in the second half that we adjust a little bit in midfield and don't allow them to get out of our pressure.
Seeing guys and be able to rotate guys like Jahate, Farias, and King, they've all been a factor so far. Your thoughts on what those 3 guys specifically have done for you to this point?
Yeah, all 3 have done well. Lucas was involved in the first goal. I think the others have done well as well. They've put themselves about, they've shown energy, and that's what we needed tonight.
Martin, thanks for the time. We'll talk to you after the match.
Okay, thank you.
Head coach Martin Rennie, kind enough to join us during halftime of each and every match. He'll also join us during the Central Indiana Honda Dealers post-game show, and we got a few candidates of players to join us right now. And now the question is, can you find maybe a 3rd goal and put this away early? Can you continue to keep momentum on their side, as seemingly Indy has had it from the very beginning of the match?
Yeah, and it's 2-0 lead. You're comfortable, but it's an anxious comfort because that next goal really dictates whether there's a lot of pressure on you or whether you can sit in and relax a little bit. And the script has been the same during this good run by Indy 11. It's turnovers that have led to transition have been about the only thing that has shown itself as dangerous to them. And so if they can stay away from that and have the turnovers in their attacking third, they can ride this game out.
So no substitutions for either side in the start of half number 2. in Birmingham before Saturday's game against Hartford Athletic and dropped their last 5 league contests. Before that draw, they had lost 3 consecutive matches by at least a 2-goal margin. They played fellow league debutants Hartford to a 2-2 draw on Saturday. They are on the road as well this coming Saturday. It is a road swing. They will make the trek up to Pittsburgh from here and take on a rapidly improving Riverhounds squad. Seemingly has found their footing now a little bit later in the season than a year ago under head coach Bob Lilly.
What, they got 7, 8 goals in their last couple games?
Which, even when they were playing well last year, was about a month and a half worth of goals for the Hounds.
There's never sleep on a Bob Lilly team.
Enevolts flicks it forward, follows up the ball. Jahate won't get the pass from Enevolts. The possession return to a team that had it for 61% of the first half. Now Enevolts tried to find Jahate, just couldn't get it through. Barrett does a good job of just getting in the way. We saw this press create some issues for the Indy 11 during the opening half. Another giveaway here again. Hoffman. And yet again Barrett draws the foul. Quick conversation between Macca King and our match referee tonight. That is Izmir Pekovic. Great read by Lopez.
Yeah, and then, you know, a lot of short combinations in the same area. That brings pressure. That brings defenders to that space. At some point, you got to relieve that pressure with the bigger ball.
Quick glance down towards the corner flag. To our right, see former Indiana Hoosier Femi Hollinger Jansen starting to get loose. Hope to see him as the local product here in the second half of this match. This portion of the match presented by the Denny Companies, tearing down the past so you can build the future. These two teams will face each other again in September as their return date. A Friday night match on September the 20th. This debut squad in Birmingham Legion playing their games on the campus of UAB. I mentioned that soccer program a couple of times when Indy played the Charleston Battery. They had a couple of former Blazers on their squad.
Is UAB, is that where Getman's the coach? Is former Hoosier?
Could be. I don't know for sure.
I know he's down in that area. It was after IU. I think he was an assistant at IU for a bit, went to Harvard, and then has been in Alabama since. Good little flick.
The sun rarely sets on the Indiana soccer empire, so there are former IU guys everywhere.
That is true.
As evidenced by the Charleston Battery and Mike Anhauser in this league. I put on a national championship team for the legendary Jerry Yeagley down in Bloomington. If you're Coach Sohn in Birmingham, what must change in half number 2?
Well, you got to be more impactful with those turnovers that you're getting. You're not possessing the ball. You're not holding it well. But the moments you've been dangerous have been off of those turnovers, and so those are the critical pieces to get you back into this game.
6 years with DC United. Spent some time with the Vancouver Whitecaps, kind of a dual role, heading up both the front office and coaching as well. And decided in 2011 to give up those coaching responsibilities. That led to Martin Rennie getting a shot in Major League Soccer, and Pasher gives the foul. Break up the counter opportunity for Daniel Johnson. returner. Amongst those waiting to take the restart, Cromwell. Razak Cromwell, the player you see. It'll be Johnson looking back post. Laurent. Both Farr and Enevoldsen realized that ball would take care of itself. Fans, Indy 11 Premium Suites, the perfect way to entertain your guests. Learn more at Indy11.com. Or call 317-685-1100. Indy at home on Saturday. They'll next be at home on July the 20th. After that, you got to wait till August the 18th. Pasher with some space. Turns on the Jets. Jahate makes the run, ball played behind, and Jahate had just headed towards the back post as Pasher played that ball his general direction. First time Barrett picked his pocket clean, not the second time. And a restart coming here for Legion FC, and a substitution as well for Birmingham. Brian Wright will be brought onto the mix. Wright making his 9th appearance of the season, has 1 goal and 2 assists. The player he'll be replacing will be Eddie Opoku, who probably didn't do enough with what was the best chance of the night for Birmingham.
Substitution for Birmingham.
That was their heartbeat heading into halftime. And you look at the frustration right now. They're spending a lot of energy pressing the back line of Indy 11, trying to force a turnover. And the 11 are using short combinations to break that pressure. It's really frustrating when you're spending that energy and getting no reward for it.
Wright on loan from the New England Revolution. Farr will simply let that one go. That was last struck by Kyle Fisher. Fisher recently played with the Montreal Impact, where he was drafted. But Fisher missed all of last year due to an injury. And again, because of the MLS ties with guys like Sohn and Jay Heaps, lots of recent MLS products on this Birmingham squad. Asher again, wants it left side. Asher plays it across. Never could find its way in a dangerous position to Jahate. Asher plays his ball inside, tries the right foot. He does have a right-footed goal this year. That was the wide open net against Memphis 901. But kind of going against the grain by going to the right side for Pasher.
I'll tell you what's happening here when you're getting the ball out wide to Pasher. Laurent is coming with him and pressing him, and there's zero support behind him. Jahate is occupying Fisher in the middle, and Fisher's not leaving the middle. In this situation, you got a player like Pasher with his pace, his creativity, and how hot he is. Fisher needs to slide underneath Laurent and have Cromwell pick up Jahate.
Fans, for standings, stats, and all the latest league news, be sure to visit USLChampionship.com. Hoffman stuck behind the defense. But Osman is there to pressure him yet again. That is a first world problem facing Martin Rennie coming up. When you return Neville Hackshaw, who do you take out of the lineup currently?
Goodness. Yeah, you could say that. You got Illich, you got Starikov. He's got problems all over the place.
And again, you don't have a midweek match after this one until September. You're playing only Saturdays and Sundays, and an occasional Friday in that mix. Indy 11 do have a friendly in August against Detroit City from the NPSL. It's on August the 13th. It was done to break up a 15-day break between matches. They will have a 14-day break after Saturday's match with Louisville. They will next play at Hartford July 13th. Farias, after having an assist earlier, would like to have that one back. Had a couple of options and didn't find either one. Gibson doing a great job of just being a general pest and wins that ball off of Johnson. And now a second sub for Birmingham, and as we had hoped to see, the Indiana native, and I hear some cheers from the crowd, Femi Hollinger Jansen 22 goals in his days at Indiana University. Spent time in the New England Revolution before coming to Birmingham. Good to see the Indiana product. From Goshen, originally born in Africa, adopted by a family in the Goshen area, played at Bethany Christian High School, a rather small enrollment high school, like sub 200 students. Played at Indiana University, had a tremendous career with the Hoosiers. Now is a fourth-year pro with Birmingham Legion.
So sub 200 in the school. He probably got to start on the soccer team.
You would think, yes, yeah. I think that's safe to say. Barrett the flick. It's already 2 of 3 subs now used for Birmingham. Opportunity here.
And these are the tough moments. You're stretched, you got Patty Barrett up, and you turn the ball over.
Hollinger-Jansen looking back post. Ball never made it to him. Again, there's been good defending by the Indy 11, but there's been some inopportune decisions by Birmingham as well.
Right, and those are the moments, too. You don't get punished for being out of shape and being stretched a little bit defensively, so that can lead to that happening again. The 11 just has to tighten it up. You don't need to get your backs forward at this point.
You know, you've accomplished something in life when you can go by one name on the back of your soccer jersey, your first name, Femi. What Hollinger-Jansen is wearing on that 88. There's a flick by Hoffman. That's the best look he's had all night. And Farr watched it sail to the opposite side of the far post.
It's a good look. Good ball in by Prosper. Nicely served right into the only pocket where Chandler Hoffman could get it.
60 goals for Hoffman during his USL days. His best work with Real Monarchs. And a foul behind the play. Ioze goes to the turf. Hollinger-Jansen, the guilty party there. Not sure at this juncture if we will see the all-time leading goal scorer in the USL Championship in Dane Kelly in tonight's matchup, with Indy with a 2-goal advantage. He showed numbers 1 and 3 in this league's scoring history before tonight's game. Dane was part of the goal a couple of weeks ago against Loudoun United, but that was later and I think correctly ruled as an own goal against Loudoun. Jahate is onside, but the pass is off target for Aliou, trying to make it 2 goals in as many matches. Osman again fantastic with the read. Macaulay King helping spell Kenny Walker tonight. Kenny's available as a substitution. He's trying to rotate through the lineup a little bit.
It's a great ball by Patty Barrett.
Just roll out of play. Talked about this numerous times, but a reminder, next home match for the Indy 11 is a big one. Louisville City FC rolls into town on Saturday night. Lou City is off tonight, so they'll be a little more rested than will Indy. 7 o'clock kickoff time. You can watch it right here on Wish TV and ESPN Plus.
It's a good find by Patty Barrett, finding Ina Voltson underneath the front 3.
The flick by Ina Voltson. Farias, Jahate. Jahate just couldn't get the right look. But Ina Voltson is there. Ioze and Pasher, pick your poison. Ina Voltson tries to bend it through, couldn't get through. Jahate went down, but you're not going to get the call kind of going away from goal, especially with a 2-goal lead. And now 4v4. Onside. Guess who? Osman yet again.
What a read.
But not cleared yet. Kasim couldn't get it through Barrett. Corner coming for Birmingham Legion in the 61st minute.
That's a good little move by Kasim.
Seam does have 3 goals this year. He and Hoffman lead this Birmingham club.
I'll tell you, it's this kind of stuff. It's counters and restarts that can get them back into the game.
Hoffman makes it a short corner. Now Kassim looking to make the turn. Sliding effort by Farias. Laurent steers it in. And Ouimet knocks it some 20 yards down the pitch. Anyway, this portion of this match presented by Community Health Sports Medicine. Dream big, work hard, and finish strong. Sliding effort by Osmond.
Well done.
By far or by Osmond?
By far.
There you go. Given Mitch's reaction to putting his head in his hands immediately. He nearly did get that first professional goal, going in the wrong direction here.
I'll tell you what, that's a tough ball to be ready for. And he handled it cleanly.
Jahate gives chase. Fisher got there first. Jahate gets there next. Here's Enevoldsen.
Doesn't quit on anything.
Pasher to his left. Pasher, a touch. Looking back for Enevoldsen. Farias and clear Cromwell. Indy 11 might be being a bit too unselfish in some of their looks on goal.
I think Jahate wanted it on his right foot. He needed to either pull the trigger with his left or keep that ball moving.
And here's an opportunity. And Barrett did just enough to throw him off. That's the professional foul right there. Just a little bit of the hip turn to slow things up. And if there's one thing, again, you look at tonight and say you still have to improve that, it's those turnovers in midfield. There's a few too many of those probably for Martin Runny's liking.
And the problem with it, too, is, you know, you're not getting punished on them. So it doesn't become one of those burning memories that says, okay, we got to address that.
In what has become standard operating procedure, Matt Watson about to enter this match for the Indy 11. He has become their frequent first sub off the bench this year. Tyler Pash will be the player that'll be exiting off in Watson's stead. And that's a bit of a conservation move, knowing you got to play on Saturday night as well. Read by Laurent. Osmond wins it back. Now Lopez. Barrett is there. Well done by Indy.
Yeah, Chandler Hoffman did everything he could to hold Patty Barrett off that ball.
How about that sliding takeaway by Laurent?
That's impressive.
Kassim couldn't get it past King. Arias gives chase, but runs out of real estate to track that one down. Before the restart, here comes Matt Watson to the contest. So Tyler Pasher will exit. His 6th goal of the season, coming in minute number 7. He made the bench for the team of the week in the USL this past week with the assist that set up the winner by Jahate. He has staked his claim to another potential award with the goal tonight. So he will exit. Again, that's simply to save mileage for Saturday night for Pasher. Was the 14th league match out of 15 that Pasher has appeared in. Ball sent in and not close to a threatening ball. That time from Cromwell. Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club at ESPN.com. Search for Indy 11 and click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on the 11's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for more on your club. Wilson and Gibson. You can take a patient build up here if you're the Indy 11.
Yeah, good build, good patience, good spacing.
Possession is your friend with a 2-goal lead in the 67th minute.
And it's so frustrating when you're trying to defend this.
Olsen didn't get the touch he wanted, but Jahate able to settle.
That's how it is when you're on a hot streak. You know,
Jose left foot did not hit it as well as he would like.
Yeah, you have a touch that isn't the one you wanted, and it winds up going right to one of your players.
Jose looking for his first goal of the season. This portion of this match presented by Delta Faucet. Delta Faucet, see what Delta can do. Osman again. And we'll go back to Gibson being fouled.
He still got through.
Martin Rennie's left. Juan Guerra, first year out of playing for Juan after playing for the team. He's offered the role of being a player assistant coach and said, I think I'm ready to get into coaching full time. My guess is he's a head coach in the not too distant future.
I love everything about that. One, you know, that Martin asked him, and that speaks to, you know, when you spend a year, and you know they've known each other, but you spend a year in the locker room with the guy and you ask him to be part of your staff, it's because they don't misstep at all.
Good hustle by Birmingham not to let that ball go to the sideline for a throw-in.
Good turn.
Ball play to Hollinger Jansen. These touches out here are not the ones that concern you right now for the Indy 11.
No, and you can see with the substitution of Watson for Pasher that he's taken on a bit more of a defensive role. Instead of playing up high, he's tucked back in, and they're content to let Jahate stay up front and see if they can find him.
And Jahate is on the island at this point for the Indy 11. Opportunity here. Hoffman looking to make the turn left foot, and again, Farr is there.
It's a great turn.
This portion of this match presented by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Indiana, a state that works. Who's working right now is Jordan Farr for the Indy 11.
Tell you what, you love Mitch Osman's reaction on that. He turned, gives up a shot. There's no goal, no harm done. He's still angry. He's still angry that he let that happen. Love that.
Mitch is trying to work his way into being the most famous athlete from tiny Rio Grande College. He's got a ways to go, though. A gentleman named Bevo Francis back in the 50s scored 113
points
in a college basketball game at Rio Grande, and you thought I wouldn't know that.
I thought you wouldn't know that.
You can set the headphones down. I'll take it from here. Thank you very much.
And I guarantee you thought I wouldn't know that, and I didn't. I didn't. Bill Wagner texted me this information.
Who is the SID at DePaul University,
So
by the way.
I cheated in my trivia.
I got Bevo and Bob Evans in the same broadcast. We can go home now.
I tell you what, there can be a statue of you in that town.
There's probably a statue of me and Bob Evans already. Throw in coming here by Laurent. Jahate the target. Iose. Veteran move.
Before that ball came to Iose for his first touch, he knew what was going to happen.
Yep.
He was just waiting for this first step from Femi, and then boom.
As soon as you feel contact, reflect said contact. Iose, his second year with the Indy 11. Spent the previous 4 years with the New York Cosmos, the native of Spain. And it's a familiar refrain that Brad and I have said multiple times over the last 2 years. We always knew how good of a player Iose was as an opponent. We had no idea how good of a player he was until he put on an Indy 11 uniform. So many of the things that he does are so subtle, but yet so skilled.
And then you stack him under someone like Pasher.
Iose missed time in a couple of different stints so far this season. This is his 11th start in 15 matches. Missed the first couple of matches of the year. Missed a couple early in this month of June. Give and go between Watson and Iose. Jahate couldn't find the angle to shoot. Ina Voltson, no such problem. And heads up in the BYB.
Love it. Love it. I really like in some matches when Ina Voltson, plays just behind the front, and he's a playmaker. He sets them up, but then he also just kind of lurks into that area, waiting for a ball like that.
Fans, the USL recently unveiled its elite youth program, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth to compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Macaulay King's night is done, and a little run for Kenny Walker here at the end of this match. Looks like a third substitution is not too far away from joining the fray for Birmingham Legion. We'll get that to you when he reports the fourth official. Johnson looking back post. Sends that one past everybody. Farias does a good job of shepherding that ball across the touchline.
And really, since that 7th minute with Pasher's goal, Birmingham has had to chase this game. They've spent a lot of energy trying to press, trying to get those turnovers. That they have to go with this third sub right now just to keep some fresh legs. If they've got a chance in this game, they have to force something now.
Giveaway by the Indy 11. But eventually Farias able to clear the danger zone. Walker, the first touch. Was last year's leader in assists, playing into this year's leader in assists. Walker with 4 heading into tonight's match. This portion of this match presented in part by Ivy Tech. Careers start here. Apply for free at ivytech.edu. Laurent plays that ball to the side for an Indy 11 throw in. By the way, the player that will be entering momentarily for Birmingham Legion, Daigo Kobayashi. Veteran reserve for Birmingham. Kobayashi appearing in his 13th match this season when he reports to the fourth official. The flick by Ina Voltson. Kassim will beat Farias to it. We'll turn it over to Matt Van Oekel for a goal kick. Kobayashi, no goals, but 2 assists this year for Birmingham. Ball's a thing of beauty for the Indy 11. Anything going that direction is a win with a 2-goal lead.
Keep it in that defensive third. Throw-ins, goal kicks. You're fine with that. Every one of those is 10, 15. Throwing a sub, 30 seconds.
Kobayashi, 36 years of age, from Japan. Replaces Turner. Kobayashi was with the Las Vegas Lights a season ago. He was a veteran presence for guys like Jay Heaps and Tom Sohn with his time with the New England Revolution. Spent some time with the Vancouver Whitecaps in 2013. Yet another tie to Indy 11 head coach Martin Running. Kassim makes a supporting run. Farias was kind of late to catching it. Kassim went to the ground, does not get the whistle from our referee. Ball finds Ina Voltson, just couldn't get the right touch on it. Jahate would have had a chance on goal. So Birmingham has used up their complement of substitutions. He still has one more they can make. And again, maybe you try to get a few minutes at the end for Ilya Illich just to try to get him some run, knowing he hasn't played since March.
Yeah, it all depends on where he's at. If you get that green light from the training staff that says, hey, he's about ready to return, and you know, here's a situation where you're pretty much navigating the game. You don't need him to be chasing down and sprinting down 50-yard balls over the top.
The sports in this match presented in part by Honda Manufacturing of Indiana, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11.
Wow, a missed touch by Iose.
Happens maybe a couple times a year.
Chart that. I like Johnson. I think he's done a nice job in the middle of the field. He's worked like crazy, pulling the ball off the back line, pulling it off the right, moving it from one side to the other.
Great tackle by Farias. Johnson, a 23-year-old from Duluth, Georgia. Give away here by Watson. Lopez looking from long distance, but not a threatening ball.
And that's a sign of frustration. The last 3 shots that they've taken have been from 30, 35 yards out, when they really need that extra effort to try and break the lines, see if they can get in and get a good opportunity against Jordan Farr.
Fans, you can tune to ESPN3 next Wednesday, July 3rd at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. The next edition of Wednesday Night Soccer. Watch as 2 of the premier clubs in the Western Conference duel for playoff positioning. Sacramento Republic FC and the Fresno Foxes. Offside flag, it goes up for Femi Hollinger-Jansen. Sacramento Republic FC and Fresno FC. It's the Highway 99 Derby. Catch all the action July 3rd at 11 o'clock on ESPN3. Jansen has neither a goal nor an assist, and this is 11th appearance of the season.
I think that's the 2nd or 3rd ball in a row that Laurent has played out of bounds and gotten to the ball first in the air.
I was thinking about all the young talent that we've seen from Indiana University in this league over the course of this season. Reese Buckmaster with Red Bulls 2. Of course, Andrew Gutman on loan from Celtic with the Charlotte Independents. A couple of young players we didn't see when North Carolina FC was here in early May. Austin Poncho, Timmy Mell. That has been, the faucet has been turned on as far as talent is concerned in Bloomington for a long time, especially the last 4 or 5 years. Ina Voltson. A Eventually draws the foul on Kobayashi. Free kick coming here. And this had been built up over a period of time.
Yeah, and he had enough right there. And did well not to pursue that any further.
Take your pick. Walker maybe going for goal here, or Jose setting someone up. Looks like this is going to be Kenny Walker's ball. He connected from about 45 last year while playing in Cincinnati on a volley. Connected for about 20 or so yards out on his lone goal this season. A couple of weeks back. Walker able to slide it through, but never a dangerous moment out of that one. Giveaway by the Indy 11. That's 2.5 for Jose. Olsen. Late whistle. He thought he got the ball first, and for his reaction is going to get a card out of that. And Thomas has no problem showing his emotions while on the field for the Indy 11. Former member of the Danish World Cup team back in 2010. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I tell you, you look at his face, you look at his body language, you never question what's in his heart and his head. He shows it on his sleeve, on his face.
His give a darn meter is quite high, is it not? So both he and Mitch Osmond picked up a yellow tonight. For Ina Olsen, that is his first yellow of the season. Club leader in yellows this year is Patty Barrett. He's got 3, and of course 2 of those came in about 8 minutes against Tampa Bay back on May 1st. Good flick forward, flag goes up. Hoffman was just a touch offside. Hoffman from Montgomery, Alabama, but played his junior soccer in Birmingham. We'll take a look as the flag went up, and that's well done by Barrett. Just stopped and immediately looked to the assistant referee and properly called offside. Did Barrett.
And even though it didn't develop into a shot, well played by Jordan Farr. He came out, he had himself set in the right position. That when Hoffman looked over his shoulder, he saw that Farr was out, and he decided instead of the early, just quick one-touch shot, I'm going to have to turn it and try and beat him back post.
Wherever you go, you can take the boys in blue with you. Download the all-new Indy 11 app in the Apple Store or get it on Google Play.
You watch the smart play by Osmond here as they're possessing the ball. He's dropping deep, 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 giving everybody an opportunity to relieve pressure if they get in trouble.
Wilmette entered this lineup because of that double yellow we referenced by Patty Barrett on May 1st. Basically hasn't left the lineup since. The 11 haven't lost since. Ina Olsen gets taken down.
Wow,
ball is still free.
Now.
And I would tend to agree with Thomas.
Oh, he played that great. He played it great. He used his body to shield that ball on 2 bounces to get it to wind up at his feet at the top of the box, was dragged down and didn't get the call.
I don't think that was an intentional take. I think that was a stumble, but the end result should have been the same. Take a look here.
This is just brilliantly played. I think there was enough for Laurent's arm on him.
I would tend to agree. By the way, at the other end, we met was fouled. So while we were showing that replay, he didn't miss much of anything. And Van Oekel had to do all that much here in half number 2. Possession has been 9/10 of the law for the Indy 11 here in half number 2 with a 2-goal lead the entire way. Indy 11 looking for their first 2-goal home victory of the season. They've all been 1-goal wins or 0-0 draws here at Lucas Oil for the Indy 11 this season. Easier results for Indy have frankly been on the road this year.
And the Legion are out of gas. They've spent 86 minutes pressing that ball all over the field. That they've got a little bit of energy to get some pressure to the ball, but as soon as Indy breaks it, their body language just says it's over.
Enevoldsen wants one. Enevoldsen, long distance. Given the anger with which he's played the last minutes, you knew that wasn't leaving his foot.
But then he's shooting it from 30 yards out. It goes wide, and then he's frustrated. He's lifting his jersey up, and he's still angry. I love this passion on a ball from 30 yards out that he's got no business hitting.
As we mentioned in the last broadcast, one of 3 Indy 11 players to have appeared in a World Cup match. Cleberson from 2014, Gerardo Torrado in 2016 and 2017, also a part of that group. By the way, our final 5 minutes plus stoppage time brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda Dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Watson has Enevoldsen hanging out back post.
Please find Enevoldsen.
Couldn't get it to him, headed away. Watson tries him again. Enevoldsen's last goal came against Memphis 18 days ago. He wasn't exactly taken to the corner flag to kill time there. He's trying to find a way to get on frame. Good pressure by Lopez. Slides it forward for Wright. Osmond with him step for step.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Mitch slated to be one of our post-game guests at this juncture. Opportunity here. Kobayashi for Kasim. Kasim, the left foot.
It's a well-struck ball.
The buildup has been there, just not the final on-goal opportunity for the Legion tonight.
Yeah, and I tell you, I'm so impressed with Mitch Osmond on that play. You know, you've got your back line is stretched, a little bit out of position. The textbook sometimes says take the foul. Instead, he stands him up, closes off any option that he's got, gets the throw, and everybody gets back and recovers.
And maybe he can't take the foul because of having the early yellow card, too. That might be in the back of his mind there. We expect to see Neville Hackshaw back here on Saturday, but not sure we'll see him in the lineup. Playing his final game for the Gold Cup with Trinidad and Tobago this evening. The last 4 weeks has been Ouimet, Barrett, and Osmond. They have been fantastic. They've allowed 1 goal during that time. As that trio, as Ouimet goes to the turf. Stay tuned. We will have the Central Indiana Honda Dealers post-game show. Coming up following the game. Watson the lead for Jahate. Now Watson lays it across for Farias. Watson couldn't get it on his feet. And the Indy 11 are going to go a different direction with their third and final sub. They're going to get a young man his first experience at this level. Emerson Nieto is going to be the final sub tonight. Get just a little bit of time on the pitch this evening. He is the third academy player on the roster for the Indy 11, joining Mario Perez and Josh Penn. Enevoldsen for Jahate. Jahate couldn't get it past. Enevoldsen taps it in.
There we go.
There's the hard work rewarded for Thomas Enevoldsen. A fourth goal this season for Thomas. Third of the night for the Indy 11. And it's all 3 points. And now a flat-footed tie with the Tampa Bay Rowdies atop the Eastern Conference.
And I'll tell you what, a great effort by Van Opel. Just a great effort just to get a hand of that ball.
And it is our West Fork Whiskey shot of the game. West Fork Whiskey, Indiana's premier whiskey distillery. So Enevoldsen joins Kelly and Pasher with at least 4 goals this season. And it wasn't for lack of effort for Matt Van Opel, as you said. That was just the relentless pursuit demonstrated by Thomas Enevoldsen. So Alioune Jahate will exit for the Indy 11. Emerson Nieto will make his Indy 11 debut.
Substitution for your Indy 11.
So Nieto joins Josh Penn as players that are still here on an amateur basis, getting a chance to feature for the Indy 11 this season. Looking back post, and Barrett will give the corner.
And really good decision by Johnson. He picked his head up. He saw that Femi was offside. Instead of sending him in, he pulled that back and looked to possess it.
Kasim, the left foot, not there.
Closed down well by Farias. I think Kasim probably wanted that ball to drop just a little bit more.
And that's it. No further action is necessary. The Indy 11 scored early. They scored late, and they controlled from the jump. They are now tied atop the Eastern Conference standings with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and they have an Eastern Conference high 10th win of the season.
I'll tell you what, I was thinking that Enevoldsen scoring that goal was going to relax him a little bit. Right after the game, he goes up and he's talking to the official and pointing to the different spots where the official missed the call.
Tyler Pasher, his 6th goal of the season. The Indy 11, a 5th consecutive win for the first time in franchise history. Final thoughts when we come back here on Wish TV and ESPN+. Indy 11 Soccer is brought to you by 11 Soccer is brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, proud to be the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. And by Community Health, exceptional care simply delivered. Community Health Network. Lots of good things to talk about for the Indy 11. Goals by both Tyler Pasher and Thomas Enevoldsen. An own goal mixed in there as well. A second successive shutout for Jordan Farr. An 8th by an Indy 11 goalkeeper in league play this year. And oh yes, this team is now in first place.
The confidence they're playing with is unreal. And it's, you know, you bring in Maka, you bring in Farias, you bring in Jahate. Doesn't change.
Enevoldsen, the hard work pays off in the Indy 11. Now equal with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, 33 points, and both teams plus 15 on goal differential this season. Quick turnaround for the Indy 11. They face Louisville City FC back here on Saturday night. We will step aside from our game broadcast, but for those of you watching in Indianapolis, don't go anywhere, because a very happy edition of the Central Indiana Honda Dealers postgame show comes your way after this. For Brad Hodder and our entire Tupelo Raycom crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for watching Indy 11 Soccer right here on Wish TV and ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.